Well, here we go again, you guys, with somebody making an online petition claiming that Grand Theft Auto 5 encourages players to commit sexual violence and kill women, and this unfortunately has forced Target Australia to withdraw from sales. And you might be asking yourselves, who's responsible for making such petition? Well, it comes to no surprise that it is being led by a feminist group by the name of Survivors of Violence that includes sex industry workers, aka former prostitutes, and the petition was started on November 29 and it's already reached nearly 41 signatures this morning. I call bullshit on this not because I'm against feminism, but because I do not understand how taking Grand Theft Auto 5 out of Target shelves is gonna be helping the cause of violence against women, violence against women in sex industry, or overall violence against women. It doesn't make any sense because Grand Theft Auto 5 is not the root of the problem. Did this started off like 5-7 years ago when the Grand Theft Auto series started and you can use hookers in the game? No. The root of the problem is something different. Why you're targeting Grand Theft Auto 5 is, I believe, is just because it's easy. It's a game that is out there. Maybe you want the attention. I have no idea what your reason is, but it's definitely not the right one in my book. Now, originally Target was defending the sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 because they were getting feedback of people defending it, and also obviously we know that there was people that did not want it on the shelves, and unfortunately it looks like the negative feedback is the one that they were worrying more about. And this is what the Target general manager of the corporate affairs, John Cooper, had to say about this. End quote. We've been speaking to many customers over the recent days about the game, and there is a significant level of concern about the game's content. And he continues, we also had customer feedback in support of selling us the game, and we respect their perspective on the issue. However, we feel like the decision to stop selling Grand Theft Auto 5 is in line with the majority of the views of customers. I don't even know why we're even talking about this. As a consumer, you should be responsible for what you get. And it's not like you don't know what you're buying, because all of the games and movies have a rating system. And if you do not know what the hell those ratings mean, then you have no business breathing, and unless you have some mental illness that you were born with that impedes you to do so. I'm sorry to be a little bit, blatant, but that's how it is. Now, if a kid gets a hold of this, it is all up to the parents' responsibility. It is not the store's responsibility. It is not the developer's responsibility. It is nobody's other responsibility other than the parents to know what their kids are buying and what they're playing. If you're just mindlessly, just listening to your child and get, certain game, oh, mommy, I want this, and you get it without even checking what it is, then you're the one who's responsible. You're the one who's neglected your child for, what he's getting. It is not the store's fault. It is yours. Now, these women went through such horrible experiences that they definitely do not want it for others to happen. And I applaud them to be able to, fight for what they believe in and stand up against, this type of injustices. But man, come on, make a little bit more research and don't just go after things that are easy to get out there. Or are you just trying to get some publicity? And if you want to know what their mindset was, going into and making a petition against Grand Theft Auto 5, well, here, let me give you a couple of quotes from one of the women that was interviewed, namely Nicole. End quote. The incentive is to commit sexual violence against women and then abuse or kill them to proceed or get health points. And now Target are stocking it and promoting it for your Xbox stocking. Let me correct you. For one, the incentive is not to commit sexual violence against women in this game. It is something that you can do, but it's not mainly what the game is about. And secondly, you don't get no health points for abusing or killing the women or you having sex with them. Here, let me give you another quote. It shows hatred and contempt for women in the sex industry and puts them at greater risk. According to the petition, women in the industry are 40 times more likely to be murdered by a man than in any other group of women. Well, okay, but what does this have to do with Grand Theft Auto 5? How the hell does Grand Theft Auto 5 prove that, this stat? I don't get where you're going with this. And here, let me give you another quote. Games like this are grooming yet another generation of boys to tolerate violence against women. It is fueling the epidemic of violence experienced by so many girls and women in Australia and globally. So you're saying the violence in games is gonna translate to real life experiences, which is totally bullshit because it's already been proven by so many different studies that it shows that there's no relevance against game violence translating into real life violence. So your statement right here is pure and mute. And this is why a reason why I believe many people, especially males, do not take feminism seriously, because you know they make pretty much stupid things like this to fight against, like, you know, when the real issue is somewhere else. Alright guys, this is definitely a touchy issue that, you know, I want to hear both sides from women and men. Do you feel like this is a right way to go and fight against violence against women and blame Grand Theft Auto 5? Or do you feel like, you know, it's definitely a moot point and this is not, you're fighting the fight in the wrong place? Alright guys, and if you haven't done so already, might as well hit that like, comment, and subscribe for more stuff like this. And remember that this was Fearly. I'll be seeing you guys later.